I'm not sure if you've noticed, but cycling seems to be really popular these days, but it can be a relatively confusing sport, and when I got into it, there wasn't a ton of information around. So I thought I'd come out on a ride and I'd share 10 things that I wish I'd known when I started cycling, starting with number 1. Believe it or not, when I started cycling, I didn't really eat much, and I could never understand why I was getting home from a ride absolutely ravenous and straight to the fridge and just eat everything in sight. So I would say more food equals more power. Now I eat loads on the bike. I'm pretty much continuously eating, fueling before the ride as well, and then fueling for recovery after. I've never been more powerful on the bike, so it is something that you have to kind of learn how to do. You have to be able to ride one-handed. That's a skill that you need. But you also kind of have to train your gut up a little bit just to be able to take in some carbs and stuff while you're on the bike without your stomach getting too upset. My preference is very, very simple maltodextrin in a bottle. It's fantastic. Add a bit of salt for hydration and you're away. Giving you advice on how much to eat and when is really tricky because everyone is different, but there are some general rules that I can kind of share with you. So start fueling before you feel hungry and eat little and often to avoid, well, as much as possible, stomach cramps. We do have some really good guides, written guides on how to fuel for racing and long rides and even just casual rides. I'll leave links to them in the description below. And just because you're on a bike, you might not need actual cycling nutrition. A lot of normal food is perfectly good. We're talking bananas, sweets, literally all of the sweets, and then things like flapjacks and stuff like that. They work really, really well. So maybe try them first. I honestly can't believe that I ever went cycling for more than a few hours on literally just water. So don't be like me. Maybe try eating. The thing I think I feel stupidest for is doing 20-hour training weeks and then thinking it would help me in my 1-hour criterium races at the weekend. Those pros are doing 20, 25-hour, maybe even 30-hour weeks sometimes. And that's just not manageable for me. I mean, I have a 9-to-5 job, as I'm sure that many of you do, but also we can't recover like the pros. It's part of what makes them elite. Now, sure, if you are training for an event or a race, maybe you are going to need some specificity in your life, but get a coach, seek their professional advice, and really get them to tailor it to you and your training time available. That is key. And hey, you might even find that what makes you fast on a bike kind of isn't riding a bike. It sounds weird, I know, but for ages I only rode bikes, and then since retiring from racing, and I really do use that word loosely, I've got so much faster on a bike because I've been running, I've been in the gym weightlifting. So maybe give a few different things a try, and if you can't manage the impact of running, maybe walking, swimming, be well-rounded. The third might seem obvious to anyone that's kind of been into cycling for a while, but it's expensive now, and I'm not sure if I would have kind of continued with cycling if I knew how much money I'd spend on a bike. I think my key message in this would be to not focus too much about the bike that you're riding or the kit that you have compared to everyone else. It doesn't really matter. The main point is getting out on the bike with a few people if you want, and maybe you could focus on the other aspects of cycling, like the social element and stuff like that, rather than how good your bike is. Because really, that doesn't matter, because I'm on a really good bike and I'm not doing many watts and I'm a bit out of breath. Whew. I will say though, the one component that I will spend money on my bike is tires, because I think they make such a massive difference to the way that your bike rides. Take this Athos. If I went and put hard kind of commuting tires on it, it would feel terrible. But with these lovely supple Pirellis that I've got on, it feels fantastic. And I do get that it's a disposable product, so it will wear out, but I don't know. it's worth it for me. So if you want to upgrade your bike, maybe start there. This next one really stems from the fact that cycling and weight have had a very toxic relationship over the years, and I still think we're coming through it. You know what, I'm going to pull over because I think this needs some proper debate. So for a lot of my 20s, I think I would say I was properly underweight, and I don't think it did anything for my cycling, let alone my wider life. So if you're gonna get into cycling for the weight loss aspect, fantastic. Come on, we can burn some calories together. I would just caution, try not to take it too far. Focus on power and aero and you'll probably be a lot faster. I certainly wish I hadn't bought into the whole kind of toxic, lighter is faster nonsense way back when I started cycling. This is another slightly weirdly medical one, but chamois cream, while being great on some longer rides, can be masking issues if you've got an actual persistent problem. So just watch out. If you've got persistent problems, then it's probably a sign of a bike fit issue, or could be something more serious. So definitely, if you're having persistent problems, dig into that a little bit. Get yourself a bike fit, get yourself checked out, get yourself set up properly. Oh, it's really steep. I forgot how steep this hill is. I shouldn't have come this way. I can't believe I'm going to admit this on camera, but when I first started cycling, I thought that bike chains should just be black. I thought that's the way they were meant to be, all oily and whatnot. I basically went to a how to wash your bike clinic at my local bike shop, and it was fantastic. They showed you how to wash your chain with degreaser and really get your drivetrain clean. And it's this that will save you masses of money, because you won't wear out your chain so much, that won't wear out your cassette so much, and the whole thing won't wear out your chain rings so much. And those are really expensive parts these days, so it's well worth learning how to clean your drivetrain and what you need to clean it with. Just a generic degreaser from your hardware store will do. So I use no nonsense stuff from, I think, Screwfix or whatever it is. To apply it and then get into the little nooks and crannies, you're gonna need a plastic bristled brush with quite long bristles. That'll work it in. 2 sponges is a really good idea, one for the drivetrain, one for your frame. And speaking about the frame, I don't use any cycling specific stuff. It's really overpriced. I just use a bit of dish soap, which some people in the comments will tell me is really bad for the paint, but I've never noticed the difference, so I just keep doing it. Once you've rinsed everything off, you just need an old towel to dry things with, and then whatever choice of lube you want to use. I think there's pros and cons to all of them, so basically whichever one you can get, use it. Although that said, if I'm going to recommend you one, I'd say Squirt's Drip Wax. It's fantastic, it's pretty cheap, and it lasts forever. This next one is borderline life coach, kind of motivational speaker kind of nonsense, so I apologize, but if you do just get out there, it doesn't have to be for long or going anywhere really. It feels fantastic. I sometimes really struggle to motivate myself to get out the door and do anything really after a long day's work, but I think for me, the most rewarding thing is going out on my bike. Within 15, 20 minutes, I'm just turning my legs and I feel fantastic. So if I can tell you one thing, just go for a little bike ride, just a little one. Just get out the door, pop that helmet on, get out the door. The next one, I'll admit, is a little bit strange, but if you see me coming the other way and I give you a little wave, give a little wave back or a little nod, fills my soul. We're a weird bunch of cyclists and we all wave to each other. Sorry. There was a weird thing in cycling where for ages it was kind of this closed off world. Well, particularly in road cycling, and there were these like rules, but they seem to be gone now, and I love to see more diversity coming into cycling. More faces, more body types, just more people. It's really, really good to see. So I think if you're out on a bike and you're riding what you want, you're wearing what you're wearing, and you're doing what you're doing, it really doesn't matter. It's fantastic to see. And then the final thing that I wish I knew when I started cycling was layering. It's fine today. It's a nice August kind of evening, but when it comes to winter, things get a bit tricky. So keeping your core warm is what's going to do a massive job for keeping your extremities, your hands and your feet warm. But it's really hard to recommend kind of specific products for a general population because everyone seems to be different. Everyone's hands and feet get cold at different rates. So personally, I go for something mid-weight for my overshoes and my gloves. And I would suggest you kind of really consider how cold your hands and feet get and then invest in something quite nice, because cold hands and cold feet just aren't the one. Oh, top tip. If you go on a winter ride that includes a cafe stop, just take a spare base layer and maybe even a spare kind of head thingy, whatever they're called. Take that with you and then you can change into it in the cafe, because that is going to keep you comfortable. There's nothing worse than getting going again on a cold day when you're a bit damp on your base layer. Oh, and a final bonus tip, if you are planning on going for a ride, maybe even filming your bike ride for some top tips, then maybe plan a route where you're not going directly back into the wind all the way home. Thank you very much for watching. To be honest, if you watched this far, then you've already supported the channel massively. But if you could, drop the video a like and maybe check out this video up here. That'd be fantastic. Look at that. Lovely. We can trust each other, always make things right.
Coming up next, Liam takes a look around.
Glastonbury tour. Sightseeing with Liam.